Hello, this is Dr. Young, and I'm going to go over your week 1 assignments. This course, make sure you review the syllabus, all the course materials, go into your, let's go to content, make sure to go into your course resources area, because that's where your APA format guidance is and your late policy information. That's all in there as well. Autobiography on the first week, just make sure to post it. I know you're familiar with this, but just make sure that you post that. I want to say that make sure that you understand the requirements for your discussions. They're pretty much the same as they've always been. You post an initial post by a certain day. You post 2 responses to a classmate. You post a response to me after I respond to your initial post. So that's a total of 3 responses on 3 different days, and all posts need to have supporting sources. That's what will get you the most points. Of course, the initial post has to be between 500 and 1,000 words, has to be posted on time, and it needs to, obviously, spelling, grammar, punctuation, all of that. APA format should be correct as well. That's the maximum. I mean, basically, those are the steps you need to get the maximum points on your discussions. So for this week, you have one of 2 choices. You can talk about employment at will and discuss an exception to that doctrine, or you can do research on workplace tort and then find a current news story. Talks about a successful suit brought against a tort. Doesn't matter which kind, whatever type of tort. There's many options there. Fraud would be an example, but you can choose one of those, not both, just one of them. Make sure to look at this document here. Make sure you're following these suggestions. It says here, follow up fellow students, and then I don't know if it tells you to do, yeah, number of classmates and my instructor. So remember, I'm going to go ahead and just remind you, because I think what happens is students get confused about this. That's why I'm kind of focusing on it. Post your initial response. Respond to 2 classmates. Respond to my response to your initial response. But all 3 of these need to be done on 3 different days, and every post needs a supporting source. This is if you want to get an 80 points. Obviously, if you miss some of these, you'll get a reduction in points, but it won't be necessarily, you failed it or anything. I want to be very clear, as, if you're sitting there thinking, I want 80 points every discussion, that's what you need to do. Proofread it carefully. Make sure that it is correct in APA style. No spelling errors, grammar problems, punctuation issues. Yeah, 80 points needs to be perfect. But I mean, if you do all of those content pieces, you're probably going to get it very close to that. So just wanted to be clear about that, so you'll know, and there's no question. There's no confusion, Okay, your week 1 project is a paper. It is 3 to 4 pages. That does not include a title or reference page, but you do need both. And again, go to the course resources section. Go into that link and find the South University APA link, and it will give you all of their information. There's a sample paper in there. You can model yours after. That will, that would be very helpful. I use that out at Purdue sometimes, but for the purposes of this class, I would stick to the South resources. Okay, so hold on a second. Go back to this here. Yeah, okay. Of course, this is a research paper, so it will require sources. Please make sure your sources are credible. Don't use about.com, Wikipedia, eHow, anything that's not academically credible. Please do not use it. You need to be using South University library resources or major publications would be fine. Forbes, Business Week, obviously publications that require vetting of whatever, submitted articles. So you've got major areas where an employee is likely to risk a liability for invading the privacy of its employees in private, non-government workplaces. So here is the introduction to this, is really talking about privacy here. But your tasks is to select one of these risks and complete the following. So you're going to, if you're talking about surveillance and eavesdropping, you're going to analyze in detail the risk you chose. Identify and describe a current news event related to the risk. So you're going to do research. Pick one of these, do research on that topic. Find a current event. And then examine a strategy that employers use to avoid being sued for the risk. So how do employers avoid being sued for surveillance or eavesdropping? Evaluate the ethical balance between employee rights and employer needs regarding the risk. So this is a research paper. Find a current event that relates to one of these. Talk about both sides, because you've got the employer side and you've got the employee side. Is there an ethical balance? Where would that be, in your opinion? Okay, so you have to do research inside it, so that's what this pretty much tells you. Just write it in Word and attach it to the Dropbox. I'm going to go, before I stop recording, I want to go here and show you, and you may already be familiar with this, you might use this each time, but I feel like I should go ahead and go there anyway and just make sure that you know where you can get help for APA, because I will be checking for that, especially at the graduate level. It should be a given that an APA paper should be formatted in proper APA style, but it's very particular, as we all know, and it takes practice and practice and practice. And even when you think you've not made a mistake or you've got it, somebody else can look at it and see it. So I would use this paper. It is in the South University APA area, but it's a sample paper. Use it as a model. I think it's a good model. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Just make sure that you had access to that. You knew how to get to that, so you could follow the steps or the links that I did or went to. Sorry. Any questions or concerns, let me know. Here's the mechanics of APA. All the different little specific things like peer review. If you just want to know how to cite a peer-reviewed article or online journals, SUO lecture. So web article, no author, that happens sometimes, even though I highly recommend that you only use articles with authors that you can identify. Okay, that's really all. I hope that that helped you think through this week's assignments. But if you do have any questions or concerns, let me know. You can call me and I'll have my instructor information on the announcement board, but you can text me anytime, really, I don't care. If you need a phone call, text me and let me know who you are and what class you're in, and I can call you back. Otherwise, you can text me a question, and I'll be happy to. I'm usually quicker at answering that way. I check my email once a day, but, I usually have my phone with me, so. All right, let's have a great first week, and I look forward to this first week of discussions. Thanks, and have a great evening.